big wall climbs can be defined as climbing routes with heights of hundreds to thousands of meters, multiple pitches, and usually take more than one day to scale. Let's get into some of the most difficult big wall climbs out there in the world that might just inspire you to expand your climbing bucket list. Climbing is officially back on the menu. For number 5, we have a pretty huge big wall climb called Ketil in Greenland. It is one of the world's biggest near vertical walls at 1400 meters or 4500 feet with an elevation of around 2000 meters. It sits on the south tip of Greenland and is actually becoming more of a popular spot for climbers, especially those looking for something more challenging. Ketil was climbed for the first time in 1975 by a group of climbers including Maurice Barrard, Pierre-Henri Fayette, and Yves Peyroux, to name a few. Although the granite wall is a tough surface to scale, the sheer length of the climb and multiple days of work to get to the top make it a peak that is not for the faint of hearted. Up next at number 4 is a bit shorter but still counts as a big wall, being half a kilometer in length. It's called Naranjo de Bulnes and is situated in northwestern Spain as a limestone peak. It has 13 pitches and was climbed as a free ascent for the first time by Spanish brothers Eneco and Iker Pau. It ranks as having some of the hardest multi-pitch climbs in the world, namely the Orbayu route, which hits 8C ratings in some spots and is said to be the most difficult free climbing route on any mountain. Since its first ascent in 1904, Naranjo de Bulnes is considered one of the best spots for a big wall climbing challenge. The number 3 climb on this list goes to the Olvitana Peak in Queen Maud Land, Antarctica. It has been described as one of the last great climbs and sits at a 1,750 meter height, with the total summit having an altitude of 2,930 meters, looking like a dagger cutting through the white desert. It was discovered in 1938, but it took until 1944, over 50 years, to climb this route. The northeast ridge of Ulvitana was climbed almost 20 years later by Leo Holding and his group. It's not just the length and difficult rock face that makes this difficult, but the extreme cold temperatures make it very uncomfortable and difficult to keep a grip in the minus 25 degrees Celsius temperatures. Coming in at number 2, we have the Dawn Wall route, which is on the southeast face of El Capitan, the same mountain that you might remember Alex Honnold free soloing. The Dawn Wall route is rated for an average difficulty of 514D and boasts 32 pitches and 914 meters or 3,000 feet from base to summit. It was climbed for the first time in 2015 by Tommy Caldwell and Kevin Georgeson and was over 8 years in the making. It was one of the last routes among the hundreds on El Capitan and has more 514D pitches than the rest of El Capitan put together. Only one other person has climbed this difficult route, and who could it be other than Adam Ondra? It is considered one of the hardest big wall climbs in the world by many professional climbers, and it is no wonder that only a few have managed to conquer it all. The first place spot goes to the Trango Towers in Pakistan. The climbs here boast an astonishing 1,300 meters at over 6 kilometers in altitude and are situated in the north of the country in the Gilgit-Baltistan region. There are multiple climbing routes here, and some of them are the toughest big wall climbs in the world. The first ascent of one of these summits here was done in 1977 by Galen Rowell, John Ross Kelly, Kim Schmitz, and Dennis Hennick for the south face of the Great Trango, one of the massifs. In 2013, Marek Raganowicz and Marcin Tomaszewski from Poland climbed for an astonishing 20 days for a new 46-pitch route. Although the climbing routes here are extremely difficult, the views from the Trango Towers look incredible. That'll do it for this list, and thank you for tuning in as always, and keep an eye out for more climbing and extreme sports content, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cover. See you on the next one.